Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. So today we are going to see Zustand. So we will see lots of interesting thing about Zustand, how you can use it, how you can do initialize the state, and also how you can do the actions. And beside that, we will also see how you can do async stuff inside the store. That will be also interesting. And after that, we will see how you can persist your data in the local storage. And beside that, we will also see how you can enable Redux DevTools with Zustand, which will allow you to debug the store. So lots of interesting thing we will do inside the video. I hope you guys like it, and without further ado, let's get started. So hello everyone, welcome to today's video. So today we are going to learn how Zustand works. So first of all, what is it? So Zustand is a small, fast and scalable barebone estate management solution. So it is a global estate management solution. And another thing is, I do not know what is the exact pronunciation of Zustand or Zustand, whatever it is. But in this video, I'll call it Zustand. So if I'm wrong, I'm sorry for that. So let's see how the installation goes on. You can see, so it is really simple. You can just install it with npm or yarn, and after that you can create the store directly. So the store is like your global estate. So to create a store, all you need to do is you need to call this create function. You can see, so inside that you can actually initialize your state, and after that you can call the actions directly here. So inside the create, you can just do the initial state, and after that you can have your actions beside the initial state, and you can just manipulate the state as you can see here. So that's how easy it is. You do not need to write any kind of boilerplate codes anymore. So you can just write the bare bone code that will be needed for the estate management. So right now, let's see what we have here. So we have this small application. This is a to-do application, and here I can add my to-do, and that's it. You can actually mark it complete, or you can update that, as you can see, and you can delete that. So right now we are using usage state from React. So right now we are not having any kind of global state management in this application, and we will rewrite this application's functionality with Zustand. So we will see all the Zustand stuff in this tutorial. I hope you guys will like it. So let's do it now. And first of all, here you can see we have our to-dos, and this is the to-dos that we have here, and you can see to-dos. And we have some functions like add to do, delete to do, edit to do, and toggle to do. And we are doing this on delete, on edit, and on toggle. So that's how simple right now what we have. And first of all, we need to install the Zustand, and here let's do that. So I'll just say npm install Zustand, and it will go ahead and install the Zustand here. So once we have that, after that, here inside our source we will have a folder called store, and inside the store we will have our first store. So let's actually call it to-do store.ts. So if I come back to our documentation here, you can see this is how you can create the store. So this is really simple, and that's what we will do. So to create a store, all you need to do is you need to run this create function, and after that, inside that you can have your state and also the actions beside states. So let's actually copy that, and if I come here and paste it here, and that's fine. So the reason is we are having some error is we are using TypeScript here, but there is no type save stuff in this code. So this is okay for the JavaScript. Whenever you are using JavaScript, you do not need to worry about type. You can actually write it something like that. You can call this create, and inside that you can just add your state, and also you can add your actions. But we are using TypeScript here, so how we can do that? So for that, you need to actually scroll a little bit down here. You will see TypeScript guide, and here you will see how you can do that with TypeScript. You can see instead of writing create like this, we need to actually we need to call this create like this for our JavaScript. So there is a reason for that. If you have time, you can actually come here and read this, and let's actually create this store with this convention. So for that I will actually delete everything and I will just paste it here. And here you can see inside these we will have our state, and here we will have this object, and inside that object we will have our state and actions. So for now, let's say that I will have the to-dos state, and here I will have the arrays of to-dos. And before that I need to actually type those things. So here let's say that the type of this whole object will be the to-dos or to-do store, you can say store, like this. And I will use an interface here for that interface to the store, and here I will say I will have to-dos. So this should match with this, you can see here. So these to-dos will have so inside the to-dos we'll have an array of to-do. So for that reason we need to specify what will look like our to-do. So for that I will create a type here, so to-do, and this is a type here. So I will say that for the type the ID will be the number. So after that I will have the title for the to-do, and I will have the string here, and after that I will have the complete. So this complete will be the boolean. So that's all for this. And after that, if I come here in the to-do store, I can say we will have the arrays of to-do, or we will have empty to-do list. So this will have the type safe. Now if I hover over these to-dos, you can see we have the arrays of to-do, or it will be empty, you can see. We also need to type our actions. So let's say that for our next action we will have add to do here. So add to do, so this is an action here, and for this action we will have a function here. So here in the function we will take a to do, and this to do should match with the to do type that we have here, and also this one will return nothing, so that's why we will say void here. So that's it. So now whenever I'm adding add to do and I'm not having add to do in our store, it is actually complaining because right now we are not having add to do is missing. So that's actually the beauty of TypeScript. And now if I add the add to do, so in the add to do it will have a function, and inside the function we are expecting to do, and let's say that we are expecting a to do. And here, so now what I need to do whenever I want to add a to do, I need to actually manipulate the state, and here to manipulate the state we will have the set. So one thing I did wrong is that this is not the state, so this is the set method, and using the set method I will actually manipulate my to do. So inside the set we have access to our state, so this is state. So now from here I need to return my new to-dos. So here I will just say that to-dos will be the all the state dot to-dos, so all the previous to-dos, and beside that we will have our new to-do, like this. So that's how simple it is, you can see. So now we have our add to do, where we are calling the set method that we have here, and inside the set we have access to our state. So inside the state we just need to return our new to-dos, like this. So this should be the object that will match this to do. So inside the object we'll have to do. So if I have another name, we should have that here as well. And inside this we are just saying that it will be an array, and inside the array we will have all of our previous to-dos and also the new to-do that will be received here. That's all. And to use that, all I need to do is I need to come here in our application whenever I need to use that. So first of all, let's actually replace these to-dos that we have here, and for that I need to actually delete this. And instead of this I'll say constant to-dos equals to, and use to-do store. I think, is that the same? Let me actually come back to our store, and one thing is that I forgot to export this, so you need to export that to use it in other places. So now if I come here in our application and write the store equals to use to-do store, still I'm not having the auto completion, but fine. So okay, I'm having user store, that's why it is not actually having the auto completion. So let's actually rename that use to do store. You can name it anything. So now I should have the auto completion. Yes, I'm having it. And inside that, what we'll have is we'll have all the state, and we need to return the state. So now whenever I'm returning all the state, I will have the access of all the state, but I do not need all the state here. All I need is, if I come here, I need these to dos. So that's all. Now you can use these to dos in anywhere you want. So yep, it is nice. And after that, whenever I need to add a to do, I need to call add method. So right now we are having add method in our store, so we do not need this add method anymore. So I'll just remove that. And here, whenever I need to add, so in here in our add form, I do not need this anymore. So let's actually remove that. And to use it here, all I need to do is, let me actually remove this on add things that we have here. So I'll just directly call the store here. And that's it. And here from that, we will destructure the add to do, and we can directly call that here, add to do. And here I need to just provide the value. So now it's actually complaining because it is expecting a complete to do object. So now let's actually create a complete to do object instead of just having the value here. So for that, I also need to have the length of the to dos that we have here. So for that, let's also destructure the to do from the store. Now for the ID, I will use this length. So I'll just say that to dos dot length, and whatever the length is, I will actually add one for that. And after that, I will have the title. So the title will be the value that we have here. And after that, I will have the completed, and for the default value, it will be false. So that's it. You can see. So I'm having some errors. So this is to do's, not to do. So that's it. Now I'm having my add to do working. You can see here in our to do, this to do is having a type of to do, this one, and this one is having the completed boolean. So the key of this property is completed. Instead of that, what we have is, now we have the complete. So let's actually make it completed. So now once we do that, and also we do not need this anymore. So if I actually remove that, and if I come here, also here I just need to make it completed now, because we just changed the store type. And now here whenever I actually deleted that, I need to import it here. So if I delete that and import the to do from our store, now there will be no error. And here if I come here, I am having some error inside these functions, but I'm not I will actually replace those with our store actions. But for now, let's actually keep it like that. And if I now come here in our application, probably it should work. Now if I come here and if I refresh, and let's say that hi, and I can see my to do. Now what I need to do is, I need to actually delete to do, edit to do, and toggle to do. So all of those things can be done very easily by adding a function here in our store. And for that, what I will do is, first of all, I will actually add those action types here. So for that, I'll just copy and paste some type here. And if I do that, so now we have our remove to do, toggle to do, and edit to do. And also I'll just copy some action and paste it here. So if I do that, now there is no error. So now it is fine, I guess. And also need to do that for here, and also do that for here. So fine. Now I have the remove to do, I have the toggle to do, and the edit to do, and you can see I have also the type of them, and now it is fine. Now we can just use that. So now if I come here and I just can remove this, and I do not need this here as well, I just can go to our component. I can directly call them here. I do not need to just pass it from the parent component. So that is really good thing for whenever you are using a global state management. You do not need to actually pass things from the parent component, you can directly have those in your actual component. So here I need to actually grab those. So let's actually grab those functions. Store tools to use to the store, and here I will have the state and I will return the whole state. And here I will say I will grab the add to do, so not add to do, actually toggle, yep, toggle to do, and beside that I will grab the edit and also the remove to do. So these will be called whenever I will actually, instead of calling these, I will actually call those. So toggle to do, and now on edit we just can say edit to do, and here on delete I will just say that remove to do. So that's all. You can see I do not need to do anything else. And here in our to do edit to do, you can see I'm expecting ID and the title, and that's what I'm actually sending, ID and the title of the to do. And now if I come here, this should work. If I refresh and I want to update, yep, I can update, and I can toggle this to do, and I can delete this to do. Great, it's working. So now we are having our global state management here, but let's also see some more things. So here, so if I come here in our store, so right now we have our store, that is fine. So let's also add the Redux DevTool here. So you can actually enable the DevTools in your Zustand. So for that, first of all, you need to actually install the extension here. So if I come here, that is the Redux DevTool. So you can just actually install that, and after that, once you have that, you will have this Redux. And here right now I am having no store because I have not enabled our DevTools here. So to enable the DevTools, what I need to do is I need to actually import the DevTools first of all. So come here and let's actually import the DevTools from the Zustand middleware. So import DevTools from, and the name is the Zustand /middleware, like that. So now we have our DevTools. So now we need to use these DevTools, and for that I actually need to wrap this whole thing with our DevTools. So whatever we have here, this set, you can see, so we need to wrap this. So I just can actually say DevTools, and now I can just wrap this whole thing with these DevTools that we have. So once we have these DevTools, and now if I save that, that is fine. And now if I come here in our application, and if I refresh, still I'm not having any kind of a store. I will do one more thing. I will just restart our whole application. So now let's actually see. Okay, now I can see my DevTool is working. Now here it is, and also you can see new dependency is actually optimized for our Zustand middleware. So that is fine and great. Now whenever I will actually add something, I should see that changes of the store in these DevTools. Let's actually see. Hi, if I actually add that, I can see in our to-dos I have this new state. And one thing that I really use is the tree view, and for that I guess somewhere here you will find this tree view. Sorry, not tree, it is the chart. And if I come here in the chart, you will see this chart view, and here you will find the to-do state that you have. So right now I have these to-dos, and inside that I have the only one to do. And if I increase that number, so let's say that, and I have now two to do, and if I add more, now you can see my to-do is now increasing, and you will see all of them here. And now if you actually update any of the to-do, let's say that I want to update this second one, and where I have this hello, and I will see the live changes here. So now you can see it is actually having the changes here. And also we have this timestamp, and if you want to jump into a specific timestamp, let's say that I want to jump here and see what it is, what it looks like in that timestamp, you can see now it is hello. And if I come here, you can see the W is here, and all the changes is actually taking place one by one. So now you have the fully working Redux DevTools here with Zustand. So that's how you can use Redux DevTools with Zustand. And finally, before I go, I want to show you one more thing, how you can actually persist data. So right now, whatever I have in my store, it is not actually persisting. Means whenever I will refresh, there will be no data. So I can actually easily persist our data in our local storage. And for that, I need to add one more middleware, and the name of that is the Persist. So once you have that, to use this Persist, all you need to do is you need to come here after the DevTools. You need to wrap this whole thing one more time with Persist. So for that, what I will do is, first of all, I will actually call the Persist here. So inside the Persist, we will wrap this. But before, after the wrap, after this part of the things, what I need is I need to provide some options. And after that, for that, I will have this object. And inside the option, we will have the name. And the name of the store in our local storage will be the to-dos. That's it. Now we just can grab this whole thing and wrap this with our store. I think that's all. I mean, this will be in the after like that. So now we have our Persist, and it is actually wrapping this whole thing. And also we are passing the options for our Persist, you can see. So now once we have that, I can now try it. And now if I actually refresh this, now I can see it is persisted. And if you want to see the persisted data in your storage, you can actually come here in the storage, I believe, and inside the storage, in the cookies, not in the cookies, in the local storage, you can see here I have the to-dos. So this is the to-dos that we have, and inside that we have our data, you can see. So this is the parsed value, and here I have all the stuff. This is very nice. Now if I increase the value here, so let's say that high 2, and if I actually see, you can see I have now 2 items here inside that. One is this high and another one is the high 2. So now it will be always synced with our store. Whenever I will refresh, it will get the data from the local storage, so which means the data will be always there unless we actually delete the data, and it will be also deleted from our local storage. So if I try to delete the first one, so now here you can see I have these 2, and now if I try to delete one, now you can see in the state I have only one. In this case it is high 2, and the first one is actually deleted. So whatever I will do in our store, all the actions will be synced with our persisted data. Finally, before I go, I want to show one more thing, which is how we can do the async actions. So for that, let's actually create a new action here, and this one will be the load to-dos. And here, whenever I will use load to-dos, and I can say async, and here inside the async, I can directly use async here. So there will be no need to worry for this. And inside the async, I can directly call the whatever I want to do. Let's say that I want to fetch something. So if I want to fetch, I can directly fetch it. So constant response equals to await. So once we have the async here, this function is async function, I can actually await inside this function, and I can fetch. So let me actually copy this whole thing and paste it here. So now here I have this fetched data. So what I'm doing is, first of all, I'm fetching this placeholder data, you can see, from JSON placeholder, and I'm having to-dos here. So once we are done with fetching, we are using await here, that's why it will wait for fetching. And once we are done with fetching, after that it will come here and it will actually grab the JSON, which type will be that to-do type that we actually have. Now we can actually set it to our to-dos here. So now whenever I will actually call this load to-dos, it will actually load our data from this URL. So which means we are actually using something like Redux Thunk here. So let's actually try it here in our application, probably somewhere in our app.js. Here I can actually create a button. Now if I actually paste it here, so here it is. I have this button, nice button, and inside the button I am having the on click load to-dos. Right now I am not having load to-dos, so for that I need to actually import the load to-dos. I'm actually okay. I'm not having any kind of auto completion. There is a good reason for that. So if you come here, I'm having, if I come here in the store, I mean, I'm having load to those action, but I'm not having the auto completion for that because I'm not having those. I mean, I'm not having this action in our type in our interface. So I need to actually specifically say that here. So it is a load to those function that we have here, and it is a function that will have the promise in it. So it will not take anything. So whenever it will return a promise with nothing. So that's all. Now we have the load to dos, and I should have the autocomplete now. Yep, load to dos here. So now I have load to dos, and I can call it whenever I will click this load to do button. So now here you can see I have this load to do button. This button will actually load the to do from the JSON placeholder. So if I come here in the network and in the XHR, so now if I actually click this button, I can see I'm having this request, and this request is actually getting all the to-dos, and I'm actually showing all the to-dos here, which means our async function is also working correctly here from our to-do store. So now you can actually directly call async stuff, or you can do async stuff inside the store. You do not need to worry anything. All you need to do is you need to have the async function, and inside that you can do whatever you want with your async. So this is how easy it is. So I guess that's it for this video. I hope you guys learned something, and if you did, please subscribe the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care, bye bye, and Khuda Hafiz.